I was halfway through folding Jack's desert tan fatigues when I heard the TV host's voice drift from the living room set. My sister insisted on leaving, running for company. A sugary jingle then. Welcome back to Love and Paradise, where our gorgeous singles get one more chance at forever. The audience screamed. I rolled my eyes, smoothing a crease in the shirt my husband should have been wearing somewhere in the Syrian desert. 7 months down, 5 to go before his tour ended. I missed him every bit. I carried the stack of uniforms into the living room, ready to tease my sister about her trashy TV habits. But the words died in my throat. On the screen stood Jack, my Jack. Same steel-grey eyes, same boyish dimple when he smiled. He wore a casual linen shirt, open at the collar, dog tags conspicuously absent, and a chyron under his face read, JT, 34, logistics consultant. The blood drained from my cheeks. The studio audience whooped as JT waved. I dropped the laundry. Cloth splayed across hardwood like a flag surrendering. My sister, Anna, noticed nothing unusual. This one's cute, she said, crunching popcorn. I collapsed onto the couch. My lungs refused to expand. That's my husband. Anna's chewing slowed. What? She whispered. I grabbed the remote, rewound. There he was again, JT, accent softened, last name withheld. The host described him as a world traveller who's ready to put roots down after too many lonely nights on the road. I felt bile rise. I dialed his overseas number, hands shaking. Straight to voicemail. The usual. I left a terse message. We need to talk. Call me as soon as you get this. Next, I scoured the show's website. The current season filmed in Fiji, airing live to tape with only a 2-week delay, meaning Jack had to be there now, or very recently. Impossible if he was deployed. I called the base liaison office. After minutes on hold, a weary corporal confirmed Captain Jack Thompson's unit had left forward operating station 3 days ago on classified maneuvers. Communication blackout in effect. He couldn't divulge more. My head spun. If Jack was deep in the field, how was he flirting on a dating show? Anna placed a trembling hand on my shoulder. Maybe it's pre-recorded, or a doppelganger. I shook my head. I'd memorized every freckle on Jack's face. That night I barely slept. I replayed every conversation we'd had since he deployed. Weekly video calls where signal lag froze his face into pixelated mosaics. Letters that smelled of dust and engine grease. He never hinted at anything amiss. Morning light felt accusatory. I called Penny, an old college friend, now working cybersecurity at a defense contractor. She owed me favors. I need you to trace an IP, I said. I explained. She whistled. If he's active duty, this is treason level bad. Send me his last Skype header. By noon, she emailed. Jack's recent video calls routed through a VPN node in California, not Syria. My stomach dropped to my knees. I asked for timestamps. They lined up with his supposedly restricted schedule. He'd been stateside, lying. I raced to the bedroom, pulled his deployment documents from our firebox. Official orders looked authentic, complete with commanding officer's signature. I photographed everything, sent to Penny. She replied minutes later. Signature belonged to a CO who retired 2 years ago. The orders were forged. I slid to the floor, mind fracturing. Had our entire marriage been an illusion? Jack and I met in the volunteer tent after a hurricane hammered New Orleans. He was a National Guard medic then, kind eyes crinkling above dust mask. We dated long distance, then married quick before his first real deployment. Over 10 years, he'd spent more months abroad than home. Homecomings were passionate, brief, fogged by jet lag. Was that by design? Anna insisted we call military police. But instinct screamed to gather proof first. Penny found filming location permits for Love and Paradise, matched to a resort. She hacked guest manifests. One J.T. Andrews checked in 2 weeks prior. Passport flagged as expedited renewal under congressional priority. I printed everything. I needed to go to Fiji. But maxed-out credit cards and mortgage loomed. Enter Ellis Wagner, Jack's best friend, and my boss at the Veterans Outreach nonprofit. Ellis had served with Jack in Iraq. I barged into his office, slapped down printouts. His face paled. "Jack's AWOL?" he whispered. Rage bubbled. "Or never deployed. I'm flying out. Need a corporate card." Ellis hesitated, then typed authorization. "Bring him back," he said. 48 hours later, I stepped off a puddle jumper onto sun-baked tarmac, heart hammering. A PA shuttle ferried me to the gated resort, Bridal Bouquet Gardens masking strict security. I'd posed as freelance stylist hired last minute. A forged email from Penny greased wheels. Inside wardrobe trailer, racks of tropical shirts and cocktail dresses crammed narrow aisles. I found participant files, JT's bio. Raised in Oregon, no siblings, parents deceased. Lie, his mother knitted him socks every Christmas. Under deal breakers, Jack listed dishonesty. The irony, ted me. That evening, the production shot a bonfire ceremony where singles confessed feelings. I hid among camera rigs. My pulse pounded like war drums when Jack strolled down the torchlit path, holding hands with a bronzed blonde named Kira. He looked blissful. When host asked about connection, Jack, JT, spoke dreamily. "Kira makes me feel I can finally stop running." Something inside me snapped. I stepped into the firelight. Gasps rippled through crew. Jack's eyes met mine. He froze, colour draining. "Running from what? Husband?" My voice cracked like thunder. Kira dropped his hand, startled. Cameras whipped toward us, sensing golden drama. The host stuttered off script. "Olivia?" Jack rasped, voice small. I marched forward, tears scorching. "Tell them your real name. Tell them about your wife in Ohio who thinks you're dodging IEDs." Murmurs erupted. Jack looked around. Trapped animal. He tried to lead me off camera, but I planted my feet. "No more hiding," I shouted. Security approached. I flashed press badge Ellis had arranged. "Freedom of the press," I warned. Live feed kept rolling. Jack's lips trembled. "Liv, I can explain." Kira folded arms. "Explain fast." He inhaled shakily. "I'm in witness protection." Crew gasped again. My spine stiffened. He continued. "I testified against a cartel in 2022. I had to fake deployments, move often. I was going to bring Olivia in once the trial finished." I blinked, world tilting. No mention of such danger before. The director shouted cut, feed severed. Security escorted us to backlot tent. Jack pled. "I did it to keep you safe." I demanded proof. He produced nothing. Penny texted, "WITSEC database shows no Jack Thompson." Another lie. Police arrived, responding to production's call. They detained Jack for potential military desertion. Before they led him away, he whispered, "I never stopped loving you." My tears refused to fall. Back at motel, I vomited until dry. Next morning, news exploded. Married soldier found on dating show. Pentagon launched investigation. I flew home amidst paparazzi. 3 weeks passed. CID uncovered trail. Jack enlisted under real name, honorably served 4 years, but went AWOL during second enlistment. Since then, he forged orders, collected spousal deployment benefits, financial fraud. He'd hopped gig to gig, using faux deployments to disappear when lies threatened exposure. I attended preliminary hearing. Jack, shackled, looked hollow. He pled guilty to desertion, fraud, maximum 8 years. I gave victim impact statement. He weaponized patriotism and love. My voice knee, ver broke. Divorce proceedings swift. Court granted restitution, reimbursement of benefits, legal fees. I sold our house, moved to Charlotte near Anna. Nights echoed with PTSD-style flashbacks. Not of war, but of betrayal. Therapy helped. One rainy afternoon, a letter arrived from prison. I almost tossed it, but curiosity gnawed. Inside, Jack confessed. After years of war, he felt unmoored. Deployments became excuses to chase thrills. He auditioned for dating show on Dare, believing he'd never be picked. When he advanced, he forged new orders. Every lie needed more lies, he wrote. I loved you, but hated the me beside you. A fake hero. He ended with apology, asking nothing. I burned the letter in fireplace, watched ashes lift like black snow. Months later, I testified before House Committee on spousal benefit fraud, lobbying for tighter verification. I spoke for those duped. C-SPAN captured my steady voice. One summer morning, Anna dragged me to paddleboard yoga. There I met Luis, Coast Guard rescue swimmer, humble and transparent. We exchanged numbers. Our first date at Riverside Cafe felt light, laughter unforced. When he mentioned upcoming deployment, he handed me command contact sheet, open about schedule. My heart flinched, but stayed. Years from now, if I watch a reality show and glimpse a familiar face, I will trust my instincts and check. Love deserves vigilance, but I will not wall my heart. The beach where Jack proposed still exists. Waves still hush secrets into sand. I walk there some evenings, toes in surf, unbound and unafraid. Because truth, I've learned, sounds different from lies. Steady, like the tide, not hurried like footsteps running away. And if ever I hear those hurried steps, I will not chase. I will stand firm on shoreline, watching the waves carry duplicity out to sea, while I wait for the steady truth to return on its own shore horizon.